Alrighty, welcome all. Thank you for being here. I know we switched the hours if you're seeing this on YouTube. Reminder that starting this week, we switched the class from Tuesday to Tuesday 8 p.m. We switched them to Wednesday between 5 and 5:30. Right now we have it at 5:30. I'm gonna move it to 5. I still don't know yet. It's a little bit earlier where I'm at. 8 p.m. was a little bit too late. And hopefully the 5 o'clock or the 5:30 still works for everybody. And a couple of updates while we wait for other people to join, to let you know that I have 2 spots left. I think 2 or 3 spots left of my members of for mentorship. So if you would like to do mentorship and work with me, we have more signups. So right now I have 2 or 3 spots left of the ones that I can take at the moment. And if you have any more questions about mentorship with me, just send me a message or ask Dustin about it. So let's see, any other updates? No, I think that's it for now. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes and wait for other people to join. In the meantime, I am picking photos for the assignment the thing that we're gonna be working on today. I'm sorry, you guys, that last week I did not give you guys an assignment. I couldn't come up with anything kind of like cool or that was worth it for the assignment. Since last week we did like pretty quick, we did a pretty quick perspective 101. And so I feel like we did it pretty improvised and pretty rushed, which there's some things that I would like to correct a little bit. Since last week, again, I was improvising it. I would like to make some little updates on that this week. And we're going to go over that again, a little bit of the perspective 101. And I'm going to do live with you guys the little demo homework, which is pretty much what you guys are going to be doing for the assignment this week. Let's see. Dark, would you like to be the mod today? Is that all right with you, Dark? So I'm finishing here, grabbing a couple more images that I think can work for what we're going to be doing today. Thank you, Dark. And let's see. Trying to see what else will be good, like a good inspiration for you guys to get an idea of what we're going to be doing. This one's pretty simple. This one's pretty cute. I'm almost there. I think maybe I can grab one more and then we are good to go. Yeah, let me grab another one that's pretty simple. Let me see one that can be pretty simple. This one, and because so far all of them are 3-point perspective. And I am trying to find something that's more like in the 2-point perspective for you guys, or 1-point perspective. This is more like 1. It's a little bit like 2 or 1, but it might make it a little bit easier. So I was thinking these next 2 weeks, this week and next week, we are going to be doing perspective homeworks and going over perspective basics. Since we had a poll in the past couple of weeks, and people voted that they wanted to go over again perspective and perspective 101 and 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point perspective, and like tips and tricks of how to do that. So I want to be doing that. 1 second. Honey, can you take off those shoes, please? These shoes are very squeaky. Thank you. Okay, let me see if I can find one more. Oh no, these are getting crazy. These are beautiful though. 1 second. Honey, do you hear me? Take off your shoes, please. Oh, they're still so squeaky. I wonder why. Okay. Oh, maybe this one I just passed one. Maybe this one is more like 1-point perspective a little bit. Let's see. This one's definitely 1 also. It's a little bit more complicated. Okay, I think we have enough. Yeah, I think we have enough. So, I guess let's get started. Let me see, let me move this stuff here a little bit. Move it closer to the computer. 1 second, you guys. I'm trying to get comfortable. Okay. I gotta fix my setup. I'm so uncomfortable right now. I cannot reach the screen correctly. Okay. So I'll move this over here. So these are like some little cute examples of what I was thinking we could do for this week's assignment. So I'm going to go over really quick again a 1 point and 2 point perspective from last week. Some of these are 3 point perspective, and it's up to you. Depends on how you feel with your ability. If you want to tackle 1, 2, or 3 point perspective. So I'm going to give you examples of how to go about it and kind of what's expected of you and kind of like the type of homework you should do for next week so we can practice perspective. So one thing that will really help you a lot is if we can get you, even if it's digital, this will help a lot. And if you're working traditionally, you're gonna have to use the good old ruler. They put the point and the good old ruler. So really quick, let me get one of these guys. Let's see, 1 point perspective grid. Here we go. I will get, I'm trying to get one of those. Here we go. Usually I like to use this type of guy, one of these guys, for when I do it digitally. And let me get rid of this guy right here. And then I usually put it on multiply. And then this is what I'm going to use for my for all the lines to go through my my vanishing point. So vanishing point is this dot in the middle where all the lines of the perspective touch. And to go over again really quick from last week, so 1 point perspective, you have 1 vanishing point. It's usually around the middle, or like you can move it somewhere in the horizon. Then the 2 point perspective means you have 2 vanishing points. And a 3 point perspective, you have 3 vanishing points, and so on, so on. And then you can get all the way to like 5 vanishing points. It's like a tongue twister. And that looks like a fisheye look. So usually when you have a 1 point perspective, it looks something like this. So let me get a hard brush. 1 second, you guys. Get a hard brush. All right. So a 1 point perspective, you usually have this vanishing point a little bit above the horizon, and then you can trace and back, and you can see where all of these lines convert. What makes it 2 point perspective, which I talked about a little bit last week, but I realized after class that I taught it like a little bit weird. Last week, I taught the 1 point perspective looking kind of like this, like 1 point here and 1 point here. And then I remember that that's not very traditional the way that people get taught 1 point perspective. So I wanted to go over really quick on how to teach it more traditionally. Usually, 2 point perspectives, you have 1 here and 1 here. And if this is the cube, we're going to make a cube. Usually, they both go to that 1 point perspective. And there's your cube. So unless you see the top or the bottom, then it's not 3 point. And obviously, these are like invisibles. That's a guy, you don't see them. So yeah, that's why I explained that you will have one vanishing point here and the other vanishing point here. So that will be considered 2 point perspective. So yeah, like I said, last week I kind of taught it in a little weird way. So I wanted to go over that again. So yeah, traditionally, it's like if you're standing 2 point perspective, like you're standing in a corner. If you're standing like in a corner of a street and you're looking like at the corner of a shop or something like that, and you just see both streets. And 1 point is like if you're in the middle of the street and you have shops next to you and you're seeing down the street. And 3 point is like you're in a building looking down and you get to see both streets and the top of the building. So that's pretty standard way to think about them. And so let's see, how will this look like for our homework? Then another thing you can do if you want to find the perspective, so you want to find the vanishing point and the grid and the perspective of a picture that you like, just trace the lines. Just trace the lines of the photo and then find the vanishing point. I will show you an example of this. And I feel like this can help you out when you decide to do the assignment this week or the homework. It will help you out to see what kind of homework you want to do, what kind of challenge you want to tackle, if you want to do 1, 2, or 3. I recommend that if you are doing a 1 point perspective, I recommend do an interior. I would say I recommend do an interior room. That will be the easiest to do a 1 point perspective. And if you're going to do 2 point perspective, I will say do something similar to this or to this. If you want to do 2 point perspective, like imagine again, you're in a little corner of a shop or a house. And if you want to do 3 point perspective, I recommend that we should make like some little shops or something cool like this. One thing that I wanted also for you guys to try with this assignment is have fun with it. Have fun with it and try to be creative and try to make like some cute little fantasy, like a little shop or a little house. Trying to have fun with it. That way, because perspective, to keeping it 100 and being honest, perspective is so boring. And I hate it. Like, I think we all in school, I don't know the first person I can think of like, oh yeah, I love the perspective classes in fundamentals. And it's just gonna be so boring and it's so technical. So I'm trying to think of how to make this assignment a little bit more fun with you guys. And I'm thinking, let's make cute little shops. Like, let's make like cute little environments. And so you can have your own flavor, you can do your own style. So maybe if you're a person that likes, like I said, like a cute little bakery, then you can make that. If you're a person that likes something more like a little modern house, then you can do that. If you're more into like abstract or like a fantasy stuff, then do something like this. So I will say whatever you choose to do something that's close to you, that speaks to you, or the things that you're into. So let's get started. So I will show you what this assignment will look like. So let's say I want to start with the 1 point perspective. And like I say, let's try to do it with an interior room. I will say, let's pick one of these guys. Let's pretend I'm going to make the interior or one of these little guys. Because I said an interior, I think the easiest one will be this little guy. So I am going to make this guy into an interior. And let me take that little guy here so we can have it on the top so we can always look at it while I turn this off. So we can always have this little guy here while I'm working on it. And the other thing will be, let me see, 1 point perspective. So first off, always trying to first off, my recommendation, your first step will be, where do you want your vanishing point? Last week, I explained that usually for better composition, it's better if you have the horizon line, the horizon line above the middle or below the middle. And that's why you get, that grid for composition that you usually see on your phone or everywhere else. That makes it more interesting. For making at your first interior room, I would recommend do a little bit below the middle. It just looks prettier. Then the middle is a little bit like weird again. So I would say like maybe make it a little bit below the middle. And then, put your vanishing point right in the middle. So in that case, put your grid right there. So that's kind of the way we're going to go about it. And we're going to build that little interior. So let's say, so I'm going to have two. I want to have a layer for my perspective lines, and then I'm going to have a layer for my actual drawing. So let me see, this is the actual drawing, and this is my perspective lines. And let me get a different color so you guys know what's what. Okay. Then another thing to always remember when it comes, like general rules are anything that goes down into the 1-point perspective. Your vertical lines are always 90 degrees in parallel, always. So they will always be parallel to each other, and as they go down in perspective, they're always 90 degrees to the horizon line, always. Then the top of things, unless it's in an angle, they're also always 90 degrees. They're always parallel to each other, always, as you can see them. So those are things for you to always think about. Those are like rules, so you can check if your things are working or not. So let's get started on how to make this little place in a little interior room. So I'm gonna say this grid is really bright, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit lighter, about there. I'm gonna make it right there, and let's say that to make my life easier, I'm gonna kind of make it like this composition. Okay. Frame drawing. Okay. Sorry, trying to get it technically going so you guys can understand what's going on. Okay, so usually when you do the 1-point perspective, the easiest thing to do is always start with your base. Where is your floor? So you can build everything from the floor to going up. Same with the 2-point perspective. And with the 3-point perspective, sometimes I feel like it's easier to make the base and then just jump to the roof, but we'll see how it goes as we go. So here is your horizon line from your room. And let's say, when do we want the wall? Let's say the wall is going to be like there, and let's say that's about right. And then you go ahead and then make those horizons that I was saying, the verticals in 90 degrees that we talked about. But that makes my room really shallow. So I think I want my room a little bit deeper. So I think it's going to be like that. Yeah, that's about right. And so there you go. There you go, your walls and your floor. And one wall, roof, back wall, floor. So once you have that, then start filling it up. Start filling it up with all these thingies, all these cute things we're seeing. So let's say that we want to go ahead and add this little bookshelf and the bed. So I know I messed up here actually, because my horizon line, it's here. So, which is very interesting. No, I think it's fine. I haven't taught this and done this in so long. Like I'm trying to figure out how to, like I always do it automatically. Like, oh, that doesn't look right. And I fix it. I'm trying to figure out how to like teach it again, like from fundamentals. Okay, because right now I'm seeing like this is really low. So I'm trying to think if I just lowered it a little bit. But F it, let's just roll with it. So I want to add the bed. It seems like there is the little bookshelf, seems like it's like around here. It seems like it's around here. And so the idea of this is like you're going to use your grid as the perspective of things. So it's like that's how you know the perspective of them, how to follow the perspective. And then remember, everything else is always 90 degrees. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. They're all perpendicular. So we got this here, and we got this here. So that tells me my horizon seems like it's off. It seems like it's a little bit more like a 2-point perspective almost. What will happen if I do right smack in the middle? Like right there. Yeah, I was doing more like a 2-point perspective. So let me just fix that really quick. I feel like this is more advanced. 1 second, you guys. I need to take this phone call. Guys, I just got a new job. Ah! I'm so happy. I want to cry. I got the job that I wanted. I waited months, and I'm waiting months, and I know I cannot say much yet, but I just joined to be a senior, like a senior lead artist on a new gaming company, and I'm just so excited. Okay, I need to calm down and get back to teaching. I'll try my best. I just want to cry, you guys. I'm really, really excited. Oh man, I just got goosebumps. All right, where were we all? 'Cause oh my god, I'm not gonna cry. I'm so sorry, you guys. That's why I needed to take that call. Um, all right, so I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change the perspective a little bit to be like right smack in the middle because it was getting a little bit like more into like a 2-point perspective, a little bit weird. So we're gonna redo this. We're gonna redo this, okay? So really quick, the things that I am doing right now is the same things that you guys will start doing for all of the, for both of the, how you're gonna start with almost all of them, okay? And so this is like the corners of your room. Then remember the rules of like always perpendicular or 90 degrees. And then we delete the middle. And this is your room. That's the base of your 1-point perspective room. And then now we can start filling it in. So here we go. So I can see that it has like a little, where we were at? Sorry guys, my mind is somewhere else right now. That little shelf and the bed. So we can tell, I think so this is where you follow your grid. And again, 90 degrees, always 90 degrees, always 90 degrees. Always make them parallel 90 degrees. And then this is where you use your grid. So let's say that is where the little bookshelf is that you see. And because those little 3 frames you see are always is looking towards you, they're always 90 degrees and flat. So I will say maybe there's one. That's one guy. This is one guy. This is the other little frame you see. And this is the other little frame you see. But I think those are smaller. So I'm going to just make them smaller. Yeah, about that. I'll say about that. But then to do the thickness of them, that's where you have to follow your grid. So I will say it's about there. And again, 90 degrees. 90 degrees. There we go. And then there we go. That's their thickness. Remember that you're gonna, sometimes you have the grid in between, like you just have to imagine it where it will be following it. So that's how it goes. And then you see these little shelves over here? Well, let's make this little shelf. I see that there is some thickness to it. So you just gotta do, let's say like we give them some thickness right there. Again, 90 degrees, always flat. And then following this line, but it's a little bit above. So let's see, it will be kind of like here. No, that looks wrong. That looks more about right. And then this one should be like around there, because you know, you gotta keep like seeing where that grid goes. And for the little guys in the middle, I will say maybe, let's wing it. I will say one is here, like around there. And let's say, how many are they? There's 2. And then the other one, let's say, is around here. But then for their thickness, you know the rule, 90 degrees. So there is this thickness of it. So you see the bottom of this one, but then you see the top of this one. Let's say we add one more. And then 90 degrees. So that's the bottom of it. So here's the bottom of your, and the top of your little shelf. And then let's add that bed. I will say the bed is about, the bed's like about here. Yeah, I will say the bed's about here. So we add the bed, and then let's see, no, it's more like around here. You have to touch the corners, you know? Yeah. That's it. And then you go through perspective and find the thickness. And once it touches the wall, you got to do your 90 degree. And let's do some of the little cushions. So I will say this is the thickness of the bed. And you follow your grid to find out where the little cushion of the little comforter is. And then again, 90 degrees down. And I made it too thin. This looks much thicker. So let's make it more like around here. No, let's make it even more thicker. Again, follow your grid and then 90 degrees down. There you go. And for the pillow, I'm gonna have to wing the pillow, but then follow the perspective if you can. Something like that. Let's add this desk because I want to show you how to overlap things. So click, hold shift, then go to pen. Keep holding shift, then click again. Yeah, exactly. So when you hold shift, it just makes straight lines. So if you hold shift in Photoshop, if you touch one click and then you hold shift, it will go wherever you want it. That's how that works on Photoshop. But then if you hold it, it will only do 90 degrees. So let's do this little, let's do this little desk. You know, I don't know how to do this, but I think I would like to turn off on, just for when I'm doing these tutorials, turn off that you guys can see what I am touching. Like it says shift, control, or alt, so you guys can see what I'm doing. Maybe if anybody knows how to turn that on, that would be awesome. Okay, so let's add a little desk that you see right here. And so let's see. I would say it's like about here. And it's about the same height of the bed. There. And then we follow it. Follow your grid now. Follow your grid. But then from the wall out, do your perpendicular we always talk about. That's where the desk ends. So gotta make sure that you erase the extra things. And then again, perpendicular, always go down because you're always getting 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. You know the rules, always parallel to each other. And then follow your grid again. So that's the tabletop. And let's erase this guy. And we know that the desk is that's the tabletop. So the desk is a little bit more in. So let's just say it's around let's say it's like around here. And for the legs, and this is just a little bit more in. There we go. So this is the corner of the desk. So you go up, and then you go up, and you go up. Then there is your legs. And then again, 90 degrees always, and go up. 90 degrees and go up. And then follow your grid and then go up. Always 90 degrees on everything. So there is your desk. And let's say that we want to put a rug. Let's say you want to put a little rug. So again, your 90 degrees always, always. Then your flat one, and then you follow your grid. And then 90 degrees again, always. And let's say you want to do like a little, and then follow your grid and 90 degrees always. So there you go. That's how you do it. Let's say you want a picture frame over here, 90 degrees, follow your grid, 90 degrees. Thank you so much, Rain. I'll look into after class. Thank you, because I really want that for you guys to see it. And let's say you have like a flat TV or a painting. And then we turn off the grid. Where is my grid? Here we go. And there is your little room. That's how we translated this kind of into this, like really quick to give you an idea. And obviously, you know, go back and erase all the extra stuff that's overlapping. So for the folks that want to do the 1-point perspective homework, I recommend find something that you like online. I can either post some of them for you guys to make it easier, or I can put this one as an example online for the assignment, or you find your own and give me the reference for next week so I know what you were trying to do. You can either find something like this. This has already been made and you want to make it into the interior design drawing, or find something like, hey, this is my inspiration and this is the kind of, what do you want to do? What if I draw one of your rooms? And that will be hilarious. If you do that, Vivi, it will be so funny. If I have a vote for this homework, I think the loft one, no, I think the one with the rain will be nice. I don't know. I forgot. That would be really funny, Vivi, if you did that. So for the 2-point perspective, guys, let's do the same. And we're going to do, for 2-point perspective, let me see which one will be easier to do here. Let's do the milk carton. That can be easy. Let's do the milk carton to show you really quick how to do 2-point perspective. So for the 2-point perspective, we're going to have, remember, one grid here, and then you're going to have the other grid there. So you're going to have 2 grids. Oh my God, Vivi, you're giving me away. They don't know that I make that. That's so funny. What Vivi just posted, it's all good, Vivi, no worries. What Vivi just posted is like me, Vivi, and my friend Morgan, we are addicted to this little cute room, this app. Hey, app shout out. It's called Rooms. It's really wonderful, and you create little miniature rooms on your phone or on the computer, and you can animate it. It's kind of like Minecraft, but very, very simple. Think of like Minecraft mixed with Microsoft Paint. It's very, very simple, and we create little rooms there, and it's like my little interior designer dream living there. And I put all my cats in there, and all the rooms I put my cats, and I also link their Instagram so people can follow the cats. So yeah, me and Vivi are always making rooms in this little app. It's really wonderful. I really recommend it to you guys and like to support it. It's free, and it has really taken down doom scrolling to almost zero. Like before spending time on Instagram or online, just doom scrolling endlessly. Every time I have free time, I'm actually there just creating little rooms. And actually another point that I think rooms is really good for is because you have to think so minimal and have to think of how to translate information in such a minimal way. It has really helped that muscle for painting and drawing, especially when I'm trying to sketch with oil paintings, with palette painting. Trying to think so minimal, it has really helped. Rooms have really helped that muscle of like, how can I get this with the minimal work and it translate what I'm trying to show? And again, it's very creative and it's really awesome. So I really recommend you if you guys want to jump on the Rooms world. Okay, so back to this. So let's do how you will build a 2-point perspective. And so let's say we want to make these little cartons. So first, find your horizon line. So again, first you're going to find your horizon line, which is from point to point. That's your floor. And follow your grid. That's your floor. There we go. Man, that's messed up. I'm doing this really messed up right now. All right. And usually when you do two-point perspective, usually this line right here is where you're going to see in the middle as your corner. So let's say, let me try these guys, make them a little bit bigger so they can touch each other. Yes, when you make the 2-point perspective, it will be much easier if the grid overlaps and they touch each other. Oh, you guys are seeing my rooms. That's so funny. Yeah, I love that thing. The developers are so nice, and I recently became one of their feature users and creators, and I love it. I've been trying to see what I do with that because like I just love making those little rooms, and I don't know, it's just wonderful. I really recommend it to all of you guys to try it out. Okay, so after this, you will have to do. Let's start with making this one right here. So you just smack it right there in the middle. And then you are gonna make your corners. I know it's kind of hard to see, but then you're gonna try to go and do that. And then once you have that established, once you have the big base established, then it's really easy for you to start adding all the details. So I will say, let's make it around there. And around this, no, that looks wrong. That's more right. And then I see that this is really skinny, but then this is really far. So that means probably I have to make this a little bit more far. Yeah, that's about right. Now remember, do your perpendiculars always straight. And this one is thinner because it's the milk carton. So there you go. So this side is this, and this side is that side. Then go and so I recommend when you start doing 2-point perspective, I recommend for you to start thinking of the grid of what's behind the objects. And like you don't have to draw them, but you have to be aware of them. So what I mean by that is the grid that's happening behind, like this 3D-ness of it, like what is going on, like how this is like 3D in space, because that's going to help you with the other things that are on the inside or behind it. So let's say I want to, now that I have this, let's add the windows and the door, because I only have like 15 minutes left, so I'm trying to get there. Well, I took the call. I can be here like 30 more minutes tops, no, like 20 more minutes tops, and trying to get to it. So then let's add these windows and where the little tent will be. So I think the tent will start like around here. Again, and then follow your grid, and then follow the grid in the other side. Then give them thickness, again, always perpendicular. And so I think that's where the tent will come out of. And let's do the windows. One window will be there. Let's say it's about here. And again, always perpendicular, always perpendicular. There we go. And then the other one has a window. The window's right in the corner, and then the door. So the window is like around here, I will say. Also, you want to keep them at the same level. So if you want to see where things are on the same level, do that, do the horizontals. And follow your grid, perpendicular. There we go. And then let's do the door. Always perpendicular, follow the grid, perpendicular. And then when you want to add the thickness of stuff, then again, follow your grid, which is this direction. And then again, perpendicular. And this one, you might be able to see a little bit of it, of the top of it. And then, but again, you have to do it like, again, follow the grid and perpendicular, and then follow the other direction. No, that looks wrong. That looks a little bit better, but no, about there. There we go. And again here, perpendicular to do this thickness, and then follow this. I will say if you follow this grid here, I will say it's about there. And then you have to do the grid in this direction to find this one. So then there you have your thickness. Last one I will say is like maybe if you want to add the little tent, just so you guys have an idea, is start with your diagonal of kind of like how far you want it, or like start with one. Start with one, and then again, follow your grid. Then follow your grid, and there we go. Then you gotta follow the other grid for the thickness. Well, depends actually. No, because we want it perpendicular. My bad. And then follow the grid again. So this is a little bit more tricky because it's in an angle. But that will be what the little tent will be. But then if you want to add those little brackets that holds the tent, you got to follow the other grid, which is around here. Ta-da! And then we turn it off. And you know, you can imagine that the little guy here, you know, the little carton, if once you finish it, you know, and it has a little window, the little window, and it has a little sign, and it has a little thingy. So that's for the 2-point perspective, guys. So find something you want to do. Like I said, I might post some of these little guys, and then your job is to translate them into the 1 or 2-point perspective. If you want to do one on your own, find it online and then post it for next week. So we got like a couple minutes left. So for 3-point perspective is pretty much the same, but then we are going to go lower. I get 3-point perspective is more like you're looking at it from the top. And 1 second. Okay, then we're gonna try to use some of, let's see if I can reuse some of this. Nah, F it. Let's do it. And then, so the other one will be kind of like from here, from the top. I like doing 3-point perspective more to the side, to be honest with you. So it looks more like this. And I like to keep it a little bit lower. So now let me pick one of these little guys. I will say, let's do this one since it's so easy. Sorry, guys. So let's say we want to translate this guy really quick. We got our 3-point perspective. Then, whoop, where is this guy? Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is going to start getting crazy. I like to start with the one on the top. So I want to start doing with the roof. Yeah, starting with the roof. And let's say 1, 2. Remember, like 1, 2. And now I have to find the second one. And here we go. Well, I don't like how that looks. So it's probably have to be 45 degree. Wait, give me a second. Am I doing this right? This is 1 point. Okay. That's the 2-point perspective. And what makes him 3-point perspective is that guy, I believe. I feel like I'm having like a brain moment here. Because, let me find it. Boom. 1 second. I'm trying to find the third one. I'm having like a little bit of time. Sorry guys, I keep getting messages. I'm trying to figure out where the next one, the point of this guy is. I feel like I'm having a moment that I am not getting something. So let me see. Trying to figure out. So one is here. So I can tell one is here. Then the other one is right here. So then where's the third one? Right, the purple one. Yeah, the purple lines will not be perpendicular, correct. I'm just trying to figure it out where the third one is. Where is it? I'm trying to find it on this drawing. Here it is. I almost have it. It's this, guys. That's the third one. Again, it's like I know how to do it in my head. I'm just so not used to having to like actually explain it. So I just know. I feel like I'm failing at showing you guys this. So I know that that's the base. And then I do know that this is always perpendicular though. So if that's the one, then that means oh, it's because it's so far out. That's why. The vanishing point for this, it's so out of the picture. It's like around out here. For these two to have for these two to have a parallel so thick like that, it means that the vanishing point is like around like that. That's where one will be. Yeah, that's what is going on. It has to be, it's like really, really, really far out, like there. Then this guy will have to be about there, but again, it's so far out. Trying to get it. Yeah, about there. It's very, very far out. That way, you know, you can get that working. Yep. The vanishing point is it's like out here, like on the corners. So that means that the top one, gotta be, trying to see how far will it be. Let me see. It will have to be, I'm playing with the gray so we can find it. So here is around here, but again, it's really, really, really far out. So I will say we'll have to be somewhere like around here, like around out there. So I'll recommend if you're doing 3-point perspective that you have to make it tiny, like squish it in, or make your file really big to get that. So yeah, so for this 3-point, you do the same thing. Do your perpendiculars, like the example if I'm doing this wall, perpendiculars up, then follow this grid for anything on this side, and then follow that grid for any angle from this side. So I know it's like, well, I have this grid wrong. Anyway, it's more like, it's like around there. Yeah, it's like really off the picture. So then I go there, follow that, make your perpendiculars. I want to extend it a little bit more. There it is. If I want to make the little second floor, make the little second floor, follow your grid, perpendicular, follow your grid, perpendicular. There we go. But then for this part, usually it's when you follow the other one. But right now I know I have it wrong. So okay, but I follow this one. Yeah, if I were to make it like that, I'm still in class. I'm trying to see, where will it be? Damn, it's like so out there. Yeah, I'll say about maybe there. There we go. That seems about right. So we follow that. And then, yeah, we connect it. It's hard, you guys. Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna have to go back and redo this, you guys. Yeah, because like I don't know why I'm struggling with this so much. Again, I just know how to do it unconsciously. I never have to put the grids down. So I can like help you guys out. So let's do this. Let me figure it out. Let me go back. Maybe we can do 3-point perspective next class. Let me go back and figure out how to do a tutorial, a better tutorial, like set ready for how to do this 3-point perspective instead of me trying to wing it, improvise in class. So we do 3-point perspective next class, and I'll be better prepared, I promise. And for next class, we do 3-point perspective. Yeah, because this is wrong. I just know it looks wrong. So for this class, we just focus on 1-point and 2-point perspective, and then we can do the little shops and the little rooms. How does that sound? There we go. And then we just focus on that for now. Yeah, trying to figure this out. Because, yeah, like, I know this is how it works, but it's like, where is this 3-point perspective here? Am I doing 2-point the entire time? No, it makes no sense. That's so funny. You know, I sort of still learning here. That looks wrong. There we go. That looks more like right. That looks more right. Again, it's like my eye tells me, like I know when something looks wrong. So I'm just gonna have to figure out how to do it better. That looks wrong. Yeah, that looks more right, but not all the way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this out, guys. Looks better over here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this out. Well, I'll get back to you guys next week with a better prepared for 3-point perspective. So let's focus on the 2 and 1 this week. So wait for tonight. I'm gonna post some little shops. Like these guys over here. So we can just focus and do the 1-point and 2-point perspective. And again, make it your own. I'm really curious to see what kind of environment or things that you guys picked. And let's see what you guys picked. And I look forward to it. Well, you guys, I gotta go because I have to give the big news to everybody I know. And look forward to the homework, and I'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye.